Hey everyone, Zach here from Graphics. Got another video for you guys today. Hope you guys are all doing well. This MacBook isn't doing too well. It has a little bit of liquid damage on it. This is clearly the A2442 model, which is a M1 Pro 14-inch, yes, 14-inch MacBook Pro, and it's in here because it has liquid damage, right? So it's not coming on, it's not powering on, and we need to go ahead and fix that. And since it's already liquid damage, we don't need to plug it in. We definitely know that there is some type of liquid damage on here. So let's go ahead and open up, take a look at it. Okay, let's open it up. And it looks very clean inside. Sure there's liquid spill? Sure there is. We lift up the board. So the palm rest looks pretty good. We don't really notice anything obvious on the board because even the board looks pretty clean on both sides. But we did notice something when we lifted up the port. And one of the ports looks to also be a little bit impacted by liquid. It's hard to show here. Let's go into the microscope. Let's take a look at the board as well as the port and see what we see. So first, let's take a look at the port. So it's not too bad right now. There's no obvious burn, but there's just liquid impact to it. Just a little bit of cloudy on the white on some of the pins there, just a little bit. And you can see a little bit more when I put it to the side there. So all we need to do for this is just to clean it up because it's not actually burned or damaged and we don't necessarily have to replace it. We just need to clean it. And you can just put a little bit of alcohol there and that should be fine. Yeah, that's okay. That's all we really need to do. So brush it off, make sure all these traces are good. Because what can happen is this can impact the circuit that goes behind it. There's not just a power line, there's a power and a data line. You could be touching a data line and you could short what goes behind, as well as damaged impact to firmware. So this is a good early stage, at least it wasn't completely burned, it's damaged. So since we saw the damage there, it was on the top left port. So let's go ahead and take a look at the top left port because this is where it was impacted. And the port looks to be pretty clean, but let's flip it over to see. Pretty much exactly where it's at. And it's a little bit at the top. Oh, and we can see a little bit of residue here. See over this one. Just a little bit of residue. You can see like this little stain. So it got close. And it's right next to your CD32, which is your USB-C circuit. And there's also something here. It looks to be chipped or blown. Yeah, it looks to be a little bit blown there. So this is gone. This is probably what's causing the problem. We don't see any liquid impact. Let's check under our CD32 because that would not be fun. So under a CD32, we don't see any impact. It looks very clean. We can see the balls there. This is a BGA chip, so it's a ball grid array, and it connects via the bottom connections there. And they also have firmware, so these are very delicate areas. I'm assuming if it's impacted here, it probably has to do with some type of USB-C area. So let's go ahead and take a look at a board view and look at it. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look. Let's see, where is it? It's the one with the 2. So we're gonna go all the way over here. And we can see that this is the D5403, and it's part of the USB-C connection. And you can see it does connect with that big BGA chip, which is a U5500. And also connects with another cap over here. So if it's damaged, so we just need to really just replace it anyway. There we go. Okay. So we have everything plugged in. So let's try the port that is damaged, or that was fixed from the impact. We should be checking the voltage there. So we're getting about 5 volts. Good. And it's converted to 20, which is good. That means the whole circuit's working. And we're getting very high amps, which is almost 3 amps. So we should see something pop up here. Right. Should. We do have haptic, and it does look like it keeps going. So I have my other Mac here, and I connected it, and it immediately goes into a DFU mode. You guys can watch the progress of it. It looks like it's downloading a whole entire OS. Yeah. So it's there, though, so it's recognizing, and I can feel the haptic here. So we'll go ahead and just let it finish, and hopefully it will fix it. Okay, so it looks like it's revived there. Now, I had the screen disconnected and it came up on an external, which is good. Now it should come up here. Let's try it one more time. So now it should be good. Yeah, let's power it. Looks to be okay now. It needed to activate, so I needed to put in the password. So it looks to be fine. Let's let it boot. Should go to an OS actually. And good. Looks like it's there. And we're able to get to an OS. We were able to fix it. We saw the damage from a liquid spill all over close to where the USB-C area is. And it's very interesting how this did require like a revive mode for the firmware, just because that area got impacted. Anytime you're dealing with these MacBooks anyway, with any type of USB-C area that gets impacted with liquid spill, that can happen. It's scary too, especially if you need data. This one just required a revive and it didn't also need a restore. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video on fixing this 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pro 14-inch. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It really does help us a lot. If you guys are interested in sending in your MacBook for a repair, we deal with all types of models, especially the newer ones, with any type of liquid spill, no power, not charging. You name it, we do it. If you're interested in a repair or a data recovery service for a MacBook, check the links in the description down below for how you can send in your device. We'll be glad to help you guys out. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.